on the stage Kumar, Corporate Head HSCC from the Indian OilTanking Limited, Raipur Terminal. Uday sir, please join us on the stage. Indian OilTanking Limited, that's an independent specialist terminaling service provider and has embarked on the task of procurement of land, design, construction, operation, maintenance on bill. Let's have the introduction about this industry. Indian OilTanking Limited, Raipur Terminal. Please welcome Mr. Uday. Please join us, sir.
It's a difficult time for me to come and speak on enhancing safety culture, but we'll try to keep it light and hopefully you will all be awake. So I am joined by my colleague, Prashant. So my topic is on enhancing safety culture. Normally a safety professional or a line manager always is faced with a dilemma that how do I improve my safety culture? And then there are some mistakes that happen that they hear jargons like PBSA, do this, do that, conduct audits from British Safety Council. So it's not a structured approach that people use to improve the HSSC culture. So my session here would probably help people to understand how to go in a structured manner to improve the HSSC culture. So we start in all our meetings with a safety moment. So all our operation, maintenance and also the corporate meetings start with a safety moment. And the safety moments can be from the road safety, it can be from home safety, so whichever can have a learning. So all meetings we start with safety moment. The benefit of this program, we initiated this safety moment program around 2 years back. So a lot of people involvement in safety, very good practices we came to know from different locations and which we could implement across. So one of the safety movement that I would like to share here is the impact of COVID-19 on mental health. The impact of COVID-19 on mental health is not well recognized, and even if it is recognized, people don't take action due to the stigma attached to mental health. So we at IoT, we have an employee assistant program where any person or his family member can directly contact anonymously to a service provider and an expert in mental health care will be available for advice and support. So this program has helped a lot of people, and we get a report on quarterly basis that how many people have used this service and what purpose they use this service. So after the safety movement, I will just hand it over to Rajit for sharing the company brief.
Yeah. We Indian OilTanking, it's a joint venture between OilTanking, it's a German company, and Indian Oil is the largest refiner and marketer in the country. And we are into business like terminaling, which is storing of oil products, and we are also have capabilities in building oil terminals, and we are also into renewable energy, that is biogas plant. We have various terminals in various parts of the country, and we operate in Mumbai, that is called Naga terminal. We are in Chhattisgarh, that is in Raipur. We are in Odisha, which is part of Paradip refinery. And we also have a terminal in Goa, and we also operate oil terminals of oil marketing companies that Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum and SPC. Yeah. We are also winner of various awards like Global Safety Award, and we are also winner of National Safety Council Sarvoch Puruskar during 2021. And we also won award from Global Tank Storage Terminal, which is international award, and various other state awards, and even we also winner of last 2021 GSS award. These are our achievements and recognitions for last few years. Thank you.
Thanks, Rajit. So before starting on enhancing safety culture, I would like to share the definition of safety culture, which is widely accepted. So safety culture is an organizational culture that places high level of importance on safety beliefs, values and ethics, which are shared by majority of people within the company or workplace. So so which are shared by majority of people, is an important part of it. Safety culture is an integral part of organizational culture, and we have to realize that issues that impact the organization also impact safety. For example, poor communication, attrition, morale. So these aspects also impact safety as a whole. You can't you can't improve safety in isolation. That is the message I want to give. So how do we go about enhancing the safety culture? So when you want to enhance something, first you have to know where you are. So what we did was we conducted a safety diagnostic study. After conducting a safety diagnostic study, we know where are the gaps are there. We make the strategy involving all stakeholders. So here I like to stress on involving all stakeholders, because if EHS department decides that we want to achieve goal zero harm, and then they prepare their strategy in isolation, it is not going to work. You have to involve all your stakeholders and then come up with a strategy. And involvement of all, you prepare that strategy. So how did we go about doing the HSSE diagnostic study or the baseline study? So some key elements of the HSSE diagnostic studies were understanding your culture workshops. They were conducted for all management and supervisory staff. Safety climate survey. So here the entire workforce, including top management up to the contract labor, were involved in the safety climate survey. Field observation, of course, the audit part of it is also there. What is your infrastructure scenario? What are the behaviors that are happening in the field? And of course, focus group discussion. These are the key elements of the baseline HSE diagnostic study that we did. So whenever you are starting a campaign, you need to advertise it well, share with the entire team why you are doing this, get transparency, give confidence, give assurance of confidentiality. And if you do this well, then you are likely to get real feedback from the ground. So one example of feedback from one of our terminals, which was eye-opening, was that understanding that the line management is responsible for safety is low. So safety is safety officer's responsibility. So that was a response from around 60% of the stakeholders. So now, if this is the feeling of people on the ground who deliver safety for you, then you have to have a strategy to address this issue. So only 60% of field personnel gave first priority to safety. So these were some of the two feedbacks, honest feedbacks we got from the field. So based on the diagnostic study, we used the Hudson model for evaluating where our terminals are. So you are trying to build a culture, so all your terminals or all your locations may not be at the same level on the HSSE culture ladder. So you need to identify which are my focus area, where we need to strengthen, where we need to support which locations so that they also reach to the same level. So everybody knows here the Hudson model, it was shared in the morning. I am not going into detail on the Hudson model. After that, we decided which areas of safety management we will look at to improve our safety culture. So this is the architecture that we developed for improving, achieving our zero harm goal. So obviously HSSE leadership, there should be visible leadership on the ground to ensure that the message on safety is taken forward. Focus is on system and process. Obviously, there are key systems and processes like PTW, lockout, tagout, contractor management, etc., which if you address well, will reduce your risk. HSSE competency. How competent are your people coming in? So a welder coming into your site, does he have the requisite knowledge? Does he have the qualification? Or is some labor who is coming in without any experience and is doing his welding job? So competency is an important aspect of it. And all said and done, you need to have adequate infrastructure, proper infrastructure to ensure safety. If you don't have a platform where person can safely work, and if you expect him to conduct his activity safely, it is not going to happen. So proper infrastructure is also the focus. So output is of course effective application of safety management systems, and our target was to achieve goal 0. So if you recall that there was an issue of land ownership at one of our locations. So what we did is we launched a program called Raksha program, where all our locations, all our entire plant was divided into zones. So each zone had a zone leader, and each zone had all employees from all levels, that is from supervisory staff to a contract worker. So this program was a high impact program where all the people involved working in the location were taking part in safety. So once you launch a program, of course you need to measure the progress. So we had KPIs for the zones, and some of the key KPIs were safety walks, how many unsafe act and near misses captured, work permit review, then site safety training, etc. Then we had review mechanism at various levels. So there was zone leader review, which happens at the location on weekly basis. The terminal head also conducts the review of the zone leaders on a weekly basis. Then corporate team led by MD and myself, we do the review on fortnightly basis. And then since we are part of OilTanking, there is a quarterly review, which also covers Raksha program. So the chart below only shows that how the work permit audit process led to improvement of the work permit implementation. And of course, to keep the enthusiasm, we had this reward and recognition program also, where every month we award a zone in the plant based on the KPI performance. So we, at a specific location, we launched a behavioral intervention program, and then now it is implemented across all the locations. So it's a 7-step process. So the main step that I would like to discuss here is engagement. It is not only observing behaviors of the workman. Once you see unsafe behavior, you have to engage with the person, identify why he is doing the unsafe behavior. So it could be due to lack of knowledge, it could be due to lack of system, or it could be due to lack of infrastructure. So if it is due to lack of infrastructure, it comes back to the management and providing safe infrastructure to work. So it is not about pointing out wrong behaviors. So this is a chart where the number of serious injury potential or minor injury potential or fatality potential behaviors that were observed by the frontline supervisory staff and corrected so that they don't lead to an accident. Also, earlier the ratio of unsafe act to unsafe condition findings during any audit was 50-50. Now, if you see, the ratio has increased from 50-50 to 73% on unsafe act and 27% on unsafe condition. So this is also leading to a proactive safety behavior, and the risk perception of frontline staff has improved after launching this program. At another location where, so India is a vast country and we have presence in pan-India, so there are certain locations where the contractor competency is a bit low. So there was a focused contractor incubation center program we launched at one of our locations where we had more contractors and their competency was a bit low. So there is a dedicated contractor safety specialist who is employed, who identifies the need, conducts field observations, trains the people, and then we have this data on how the behaviors have improved from 53% of unsafe behaviors to now, which is tapering around 87% right now for safe behaviors. So all said and done, you can have all systems, you can have all procedures, you can give good infrastructure, but you have to have a reward and also a punitive program in place. But the care to be taken here is it should be a just program. People should be clear that they will not be targeted. Like there was one presentation where it was said that idea is not to target people or find fault. idea is to get an improvement. So the Just Culture program is in place, which clearly identifies how to investigate non-compliance and what actions to be taken based on. So if your behavior is exemplary, then you have to reward the employee or the team. If there is unintended non-compliance, then there is train and coach. If it is deliberate non-compliance, counsel or reprimand. And if it is deliberate risk taking, then you can also think of exit of that employee. So this program also has a good impact on improving the safety culture at the organization. Now, 3 years after running this program, I showed you the status of the terminals earlier. So there is a step improvement at all locations, where 2 of our locations are above proactive culture, proactive HSSC culture. This is our own internal assessment. Now again we are going for a detailed evaluation from a third-party vendor. So last but not the least, I want to end with a message that we get the level of safety culture, we demonstrate we want, and not what we say. So we need to demonstrate what we want, and then only we can achieve the goal. So thanks.